Hello and welcome to the match reaction for the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. It's ended 2-0. What seemed to be like a game which was heading nowhere in the first half, with both teams almost clinging on, uh, to each side's possession. It fairly ended pretty easily for Chelsea to kind of win 2-0. Very interesting matchup. The way it started, the way it kind of ended is nowhere where I thought that this would go. But Thomas Tuchel finally gets his win, I would say, and some redemption to finally also play for something this season. And I think that's the bigger topic, I would say. Not at the end how easy it seemed that Chelsea could get through to the final against Crystal Palace, because Crystal Palace did trouble them. It was not an easy game for Chelsea in any sense in the first half. They looked all over the place. They couldn't keep their shape. Zaha was running straight at defenders. Even as they had a good link up there, but then the substitutions that came in the second half kind of made the difference. I think the first one was, of course, the injury to Kovacic to kind of get Loftus-Cheek, who actually scored the first goal. That's his first goal for Chelsea for a long time. And it was a well worked game. Chelsea did step up with the intensity in the second half. Also, the fact that Chelsea did kind of push Crystal Palace a lot. They did, and it was strange that Crystal Palace could not occupy the spaces that they were left behind. I think Zaha did overthink. Like, I think that's kind of his thing. But yeah, even there were chances that he could have just played across. But then in the second half, they had some chances as well to kind of score. But yeah, I think Mason Mount can't stop scoring. That's his favorite position. That's the second time I've seen him play and score a similar goal from a very similar position. I think the first goal against Real Madrid was also very similar to how we cut through, and Werner kind of providing the same way like Werner did provide the Real Madrid goal as well, the first one they scored. But then that's kind of that's clicking. What's not clicking is Lukaku. Lukaku doesn't, his drought continues in Wembley. I don't know what he wants. There was an empty goal in my mind. He did strike the woodwork. But then it was like Lukaku. It's almost like Chelsea, like Tuchel is giving him a chance to audition and say that Kai Havertz is not scoring. You can still kind of get me a couple, and then I can think of you. But then it's like Lukaku was kind of given up that I'm happy in the bench. I don't need to score goals and stuff. So in that sense, I'm kind of a little worried of what happens to Lukaku. But then other than that, it was a wholesome performance in the second half from Chelsea. That's a well-oiled machine running on the right flank. Yeah, of course, the first goal kind of came from a mistake from Mitchell in a way. But then I think the cutback from Havertz and how Loftus-Cheek strikes it takes a deflection and it's a goal. But then the second goal was well worked. I think at that after the 1-0 up, Chelsea, Crystal Palace did want to score. They did get. They did made a couple of attacking changes as well, but then I don't think that helped eventually. It was very interesting. What was very interesting to see is Crystal Palace kind of giving up, like that channel. Like they are not that team who kind of just accept the fate and kind of go forward. But we didn't see that happening, and it could be because they, of course, knew like the pace that Chelsea has on both the sides, with even James pushing up. And also Werner on the left. Like that was very clear that Crystal Palace was worried about that, and I think that did not allow them too much kind of running down the wings as they like and playing counter as well. But then it's tied beautifully now. It's Chelsea versus Liverpool in the final on 14th of May. Liverpool can win the quadruple. They can dream of winning the quadruple, but Chelsea can dream of winning at least one title. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Chelsea is not fighting. I think they are top four finish. That they know that they're out of Champions League. FA Cup is the only one that they can win. I think they will. There's a very strong belief in Tuchel's side. Like he knows how important this game is for them. So, but that's the matchup. Liverpool is the team to beat right now in almost all championships. because they are guaranteed to get into the finals. They are head to head, like they're almost they're 1 point behind City in the Premier League, so it's anybody's title to lose in a way. And yeah, they are playing the FA Cup final as well, so it's pretty interesting. I think for Crystal Palace, there's a lesson learned. They couldn't perform in the big match, which everyone expected they would turn up, but then Patrick Vieira can take some pride and kind of go back and see what worked, what didn't, and build up from there on to the next season. Do let us know what you think about this. Do you think Mason Mount is just amazing whenever he starts, or do you think that he needs to be trusted more on that side of the flank? His movement is amazing. And also, what do you think about the midfield? I don't still get the Chelsea midfield, if what's clicking and what's not, because I felt Jorginho and was not his best level. Only when they kind of got off like some pace injected with Ziyech and with the subs that they made, only then they could play. But then let us know in the comment section what do you think, and do subscribe, like the video. Thanks.